Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm your host, Sgt Sias. We're here on Sound Up Sunday with Sgt Sias. For those tuning in on every stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and for those who share my lives, I had technical difficulties where the power of a couple of houses, including mine, the power went out. So they were able to fix it. I think it was something up there. I don't know what they fixed, but they replaced something. And since like the power is working better, the power outage. How you doing, brother Andres Carizales? Guess it was meant for me to start off the way I wanted to start off, so, and I don't want to stay up too late tonight, but let me share out this life here real quick, one more time. Maybe this was causing some activity around here in the house where the power seemed like it wasn't working right. Maybe something, whatever they replaced, the power is working better now. So hopefully it won't happen again. We've been having rain all day, and but it got fixed. What do we got here? Andres Carizales, Alan Garrigan. How you doing, Alan? Let me share out this live feed real quick. There we are. We're just about all shared out right now. Yeah, it was weird. There was only four houses. Let's see, one, two, three, like four or five houses that had no power. All the other houses had power except the four or five houses. That was weird, because the houses in front of us had power. The houses in the back had power. I think there might have been some in the back that also had no power, but it got fixed, whatever the problem was. Yeah, but it was kind of weird because you know I wanted to do something special for Sunday. Call it Sound Up Sunday. With Sgt Sias. But here we are. So how's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. As for me, man, we just went out looking for furniture, putting up things and just relaxing. I'm sort of relaxing, trying to relax my leg. Trying to get it healed. Yeah, there's some bad weather outside. You know, some bad weather outside. You hear rain and thunder right now. Yeah, it messed up. It messed up my momentum. You know what I was talking about. Trying to stay in character. Sgt Sias. Yeah. I was saying, well, maybe they got mad. Something got mad because I said caca squatch. Well, and the power just shut off. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I've seen the creeks rise. You know, people. We live in Central Texas, and there's a lot of creeks, and those creeks run into Belton Lake. And if those creeks are obstructed with blockage in the creeks, the water rises into the areas where there's houses and stuff like that. It'll rise if there's blockage, illegal dumping. Some people dump illegal things in the creeks, and it causes like a dam, so the water backs up. It can't go into the lake how it wants to go. There's times that I think the lake has been over flooded when the water is going through and there's a lot of rain. The lake itself gets flooded. Sorry to hear that, Sister Beyond the Box, that you had water everywhere. And if it happened Saturday night, I got a question. Were you singing? Uh, what was the name of that song from back in the day? Split splash, I was taking a bath down in a Saturday night. Well, I'm glad that you were able to catch it. Where we used to live, it flooded there when the tornado came through. It flooded real bad, and I had to put, I had to literally go outside because the water was. I didn't know that it would flood in the backyard, and the water was all the way up, like maybe like 4 or 5 feet. And I'm lucky. We're lucky that the sliding door didn't break. But I went outside and I broke the door just to let the water out, the side door. But I'm glad I'm not late. I'm not. I'm glad we're not staying there no more because it gets real muddy back there in the backyard. If you were to call Colleen's finest, the fire department, the police department, they would have been sitting on high ground where it's dry, and they would say, "Well, oh no, we don't get paid enough to endanger our lives." They don't care, you know. They don't put their life in danger like that. When we saved the man's life, when he was the creek was trying to take his Mustang, and he was trapped in the Mustang. His name was Frank. It was me, my brother-in-law, and my nephews who saved his life. We lifted the Mustang in the water, used the tires as a floating device, and took him up to higher ground, or else the creek would have taken him. The cops and the fire department was telling us to leave the vehicle alone, or they were going to arrest us. And they didn't know that there was a man trapped in there. So we took it to higher ground, and then we opened the door. When we opened the door, all the water came out from inside the vehicle, and he was in shock, like because he thought he was going to die. He thought that the water was going to take him. Just imagine that it's nighttime, dark. The water is dark because it's got all the dirt, all the sticks, and all. It's just dark, so you don't know what's going to come in the water, you know. But yeah, we saved his life, man. I don't know. I know he moved to Houston with his daughter, but even Houston is bad because it floods real bad over there. When the any coastline, especially in Texas, it floods pretty bad in the Gulf. I'm gonna continue to call it the Gulf of Mexico. I guess I know it as. Yeah, Frank was he was I believe a Vietnam veteran or Korean veteran, uh, a Korean War veteran, something like that. Vietnam and Korean War veteran, and we helped him, or else the creek would have taken him. You know those when you go into a creek, man, or the water takes you, swim sideways and try to reach to the side of the creek because if not, it's going to take you under, kind of like a undertow. You know, it takes you under. Once it takes you under, that's it, man. You're going to be hitting all kinds of things that are in the water, the sharp edges. I mean, there've been people that have passed away like that in Killeen, where when the creeks rise, it takes some people get taken because when the water comes, it's like a little tsunami. So if you're standing in the creek and the waterbed is empty, but it's raining, next year the water that's up north, up uh, to the west, starts coming down through the creeks, and if it's coming in, if it's flooding, then you're going to see like a little tsunami coming around the bend, coming straight at you. And if you're in there and you don't react, get time to react to get out of there, it'll take you. Yeah, every campaign, right, is different. You know, everybody is just a different time era. Everybody that's in the military, right, to place their life on the lines depends, right. There's some that might not see no combat, but there's some that are on the front lines. That's our mission. That's our job to protect the front lines. That's what we do. That's what I do, or I used to do. All my brother in arms. Uh, that's what we used to do is protect the front lines, protect and defend the front lines. That's what we do. We're the front lines, which in the front lines, people live and people die. Yes, I was knighted with in Erlangen, Germany. When we came back, I was in the First Armored Division, Seven Corps. I was in a Second Brigade for 135 Armor, and got knighted. All of the people that were in the front lines, we all got knighted. Everybody that was in the front lines. I wish that I had a picture of when that happened. I used to have a picture, but I lost a lot of things. You know, the move when I came back from Germany to over here, I lost my medical records. They had lost some of my luggage, and I lost a lot of pictures. So I've been trying to get a hold of people that serve with me out there that might have a picture. But yeah, got knighted. I have my certificate of the day that I got knighted. We're called Iron Knights. They were like, Iron Knights. armor or battalion there in Erlangen, Germany. Uh, wait one. Let me do something real quick. Yeah, our battalion in Germany had armor. The armor, like the knights, the we would keep everything shiny. There was armor. There was swords. Uh, they had all the armory you could say the knights used to have or battalion. It was all over in their battalion. The knight armor, the swords, the other weapons with the spikes. The one where they would ride the horse and spear each other with. Can't remember the name of it, but they had all that kind of equipment there. Yeah, that's what they did. That's how you get knighted. They had some kind of prince or king there that was knighting everybody. So y'all can call me Sir Sias. Long time ago, yeah, jousting, the joust. I had I was only 19. I'm see, I turned 20 out there. So when I got knighted, I was 20 years old because we fought the front lines and we defeated many tanks. The Medina Republican Guard. Where I was in the Battle of Medina Ridge. So yeah, we defeated all of Saddam Hussein's army. No, and it kind of crazy, man. How people are always finding something to argue about, right? Whether it be war, even though they're not involved in the war, they want to argue about it. How about praying for the people that are involved in the war? You know, the soldiers, American soldiers that took the oath to serve and protect our country. But any enemy, foreign or domestic, prayer is very important. You should pray for the soldiers because they're the ones that are dealing with whatever's going out there. And there's all kinds of enemy out there. It's not just the enemy of what is being said in the media. You know, when it comes down to the spiritual aspect of things, there's a lot of things in spirit out there that's causing occasion havoc. The same unclean spirits that make people argue here in the United States amongst one another. Who's right, who's wrong, who's pointing fingers, and who's blaming this, who's blaming that. You know, everybody's got some. Everybody, you know, when you think about and focus on certain individuals and just focus on that, on more negativity than anything positive, then yeah, you live in a spiritual opening for yourself to get spiritually attacked. And I see a lot of that going on. You know, it's like to me, you know, the people that are out there in the front lines, they're the ones that are to see everything. They have to deal with the enemy. Then they have to deal with if there's something of spirit around, they have to deal with all that. You know, whatever's out there, they have to deal with. Then you got people over here fighting each other uh, because they belong to different political parties, and they're just making themselves look like idiots on both sides of the party. That you pray for the soldiers. How come they don't pray for the soldiers? You should put them in prayer. But then I've seen where they have people they want to be smart asses. I said, well, they were stupid enough to take the oath. No, it's not stupid enough. They're taking in the oath because somebody's gonna fulfill that job duty. They got to protect and defend the United States of America, just like I took the oath at one point in time in my life. In Germany, the males have to serve as soon as they turn 18 or graduate high school. They got to serve, I think, two to 4 years in the military. That's an automatic, and I think it should be that way in the United States. Just so people could get a taste of it. What it's really about. Because you got people out there that's never served the military or nothing, and they think they know everything, and they just want to start all kinds of chaos and havoc and look like idiots. But they don't place their life on the line by taking the oath. Take the oath and join the military. Go through the training and go out there and do your job duty. Then come talk to me. But if you're a radical and a Mr. Know-it-all, but you never served, then I don't want to hear what you have to say because it takes a lot up here in the mind to be able to do the job of somebody in the military. Not all jobs are as risky, right? I'm just saying, put yourself in the shoes of the people of any job. Doesn't have to be the military. Put yourself in scenarios of people when you see the news, you get mad because you hear a cop killed somebody, but then the person that they killed had a weapon, or the people that they killed was trying to run them over with a vehicle, right? Or ice, They don't. They always try to make the people look bad, but they don't say the things that they do, you know. So there's a lot. And of course, there is crooked cops, crooked things, but can dwell on that. You have to maintain your heavenly love foundation. Even Sgt Sias maintains a heavenly love foundation, and this is topics that people don't talk about. And I was in the front lines, the Battle of Medina Ridge and Operation Desert Storm for the Medina Republican Guard, and I lost. I lost communication. I lost communication with all my family, with everybody. I didn't call back to the rear. I wouldn't write no letters to anybody. I will keep to myself. I keep myself focused on the mission. When you write or you call back home or write a letter, then sometimes you hear news of things that is happening, and that could affect you, right? For example, that somebody's sick, somebody's dying. You don't need to hear things or problems. Not only is this an emergency, that's why they got the Red Cross. It's an emergency that somebody passed away, and that's different. There, the Red Cross will contact you. But me personally, when I was out there, or even in rotations, when I go training like Fort Orwin or wherever, I really wouldn't call nobody. I stay focused on the mission. People don't understand whether you're training or you're doing the mission, whether it's in training or if you're out there in a combat environment. You have to be focused on the mission. You can have no distractions. It's when you have the distractions that things happen, or should I say accidents happen. We've heard of people pass away in training or in combat because their mind is somewhere else. It's not focused on the mission. So when you have people that are political and they think that they're very smart on the politicals and they want to put their 2 cents, especially dealing with war, but they don't know no tactics. They don't know what it takes to be in a combat environment. They don't know how it is to be a soldier. The only thing they know is what they hear on the news or what other people that they like because they talk smack about people. That's all they know. That's all they know. And those people that want to be politically correct or politically smart have never served in the military to know how it is to be a soldier, what it takes to be a soldier. They don't understand. I know when I was in the military and I would hear the news talk certain things, or it was talking always the opposite of what's really going on out there. And I'd be like, turn off that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. It was always the opposite. The media is always the opposite what's really going out there in a combat environment. They never say the truth because I think the news they like for people to be upset. That what makes the people that are upset or people that are triggered because it's the news that's making people triggered. The soldiers that are out there in the combat environment, they're handling business. They're the ones that are handling the business. It's not the news or people that represent certain groups that's doing anything. It's the people that are in the uniform that are truly boots on the ground that are handling the situation. They're there, boots on the ground, knowing exactly what's happening. But when you see the things that you're handling, then you hear the news saying something completely different than what's really happening. That's why I don't listen to the news because they're full of crap. I don't listen to the news. I don't listen to people that belong to political parties. I don't listen to none of that shit because I guess you could say that when they want to pull their collars. Oh, look what I know. I'm a look at my degrees. Uh, but they're not out there. They're not out there doing what the soldiers are doing, taking care of business. They're just saying they're putting their 2 cents, not knowing what the hell they're talking about. The only thing they know what they're talking about is what they hear, but they're not out there to see exactly what's happening. Let me see who else is here. Yeah, I'm just talking away right now, signing off. I will see a lot of that when I was out there, even when I came back from from war. The things that was being put out in the newspapers and what they were seeing in the news was different than what was really happening, what really happened out there. So now you know how soldiers get bad names, right? They get bad names because of the social media outlets, the news. They lie to people. They don't say the truth. They lie about what's really going on out there. Uh, most news they talk about the bad thing. They try to make the soldiers or the military look bad. They never say nothing good about the military. They never say nothing good. They always want to say something bad. Nothing good. When you hear them talking about don't send no soldiers over there because, or don't send no soldiers to this mission because we're going to lose lives. That's part of being the military. Let us do our jobs. Shut the fuck up. That's what we're trained for, to handle any situation. Let us do our job and y'all just shut the hell up. You hear all these people crying about the soldiers this, soldiers that. That's what we train for. That's what we do. That's our mission. I don't hear people, well, yeah, they still do the same thing to like policemen and policemen, do the same thing to them. I mean, the policemen just quit their jobs, especially in New York, being taken over but we used to call them the military, the rackheads. They probably don't sell no more pork over there in New York. Oh man. No, the battle I was in, Justin, was out there in the desert. It happened in the desert. The Battle of Medina Ridge. It was a ridge, and we fought in the desert. When I was out there in Operation Storm, we just fought on the border. It was a border war, the border of Kuwait and the border of Iraq. Our orders were to liberate Kuwait, which means get rid of the enemy. Either they go back across the border or we fight them. They didn't want to go across the border. They were in defense positions, and we fought them. And our mission was to liberate Kuwait, in which at that time we did not cross the border. We just stayed on in Kuwait. But the remainder of the tanks that were left crossed back into the Iraqi border. In those borders, there's no walls, but it's important. It's important to keep the border secured. If Iraq, but even that, a tank probably would have blown a hole in a. If they had like the same walls that the U.S. has, tank will blow a hole through the wall. I mean, they could build. There's other things you can do to build secure borders. For example, build a landmine with Constantine wire. Good luck on crossing that. It's one of those things where there's mines set up everywhere, but that's dealing like in a combat environment. But it's still protecting your borders. I never went to. We wasn't out there to, brother Justin. I wasn't out there to go. How should I say? Sightseeing. We was out there to handle the mission. Tankers. That's just our MOS is being out there in the front lines, man. We don't go take no tour sites. We just wherever they send us, we go, and wherever they send us is not to go on a vacation. It's not to go to look at any sightseeing. It's to handle business. We're the first to go. I used to be in the cab also, in the cab for about 8 years. Yeah, first to go. We did a lot of training, a lot of training. I wish I could have done more time, but due to a couple of accidents that I had, I come up with a condition, so that I could only do 10 years. But that's okay. Everything happens for a reason. That's how I see it. My brother in arms, they're, they stayed. Some of them stayed. Some made some of them did 20 something years. Yeah, like 20, like One was I got a buddy, brother in arm, Corey Stevenson. He made it a first sergeant. And then I had this other buddy of mine, person. He made it all the way to a sergeant major. You know the people that go in first, which that's what front lines. That's all the people that go in first. Those are normally the ones that die first too. Luckily, we didn't, and I'm here still talking about it after a successful campaign, or should I say, successful, yeah, campaign in Operation Desert Storm. You know, we defeated all of Saddam Hussein's armies. You know what happened after that? You know, you got what happened to Saddam after that. He got found guilty for genocide and all kinds of things, and they sprung him, right, for all the crimes he committed, all the people he killed, innocent people, children, women. Yeah, he did a lot of messed up things, drop chemicals on people. So what I'm gonna do right now, drop a I'm gonna drop a link here. See who wants to jump on here with me. I know Sister Brenda knows about a lot of things of this, so what I'm talking about. Like I said, the media talks only what they want to talk about because they dwell in fear, they dwell in division, they dwell in anger, but they don't talk about the real story. That's any media outlet. They do not talk the full story. How can they if how can they talk about a full story when they're not even in the military to know the orders that are given to us or what we got to do, what's the mission? Only we know, right? Those that were in know the orders that was given to us, and we know the mission. The news pretends like they know, or how we say it in the military, they half-ass it, but they half-ass it to their advantage, right? But that's what they dwell in. They dwell in fear mongering, and division, and anger, hatred. This any news outlet, and we see it a lot. I think a lot of people that's been seeing the news and seeing political parties going after each other. They're just a bunch of idiots, man. That's how I see it, as a bunch of idiots. I'm seeing it. I'm just talking about it in general as a soldier, you know. So you wasn't a soldier, so we don't worry about those people that are up there in high power or nothing like that. We just do the mission. You know how we're expendable, or how they say we're just a number. But what they forgot to mention is the training we do. We're some, I'll say it nicely, we're some bad motherfuckers. Everybody that's out there in the front lines, the training we do to a high level, we're bad. Of course, there's some bad special forces. You know, you got special forces, you got Navy SEALs, Green Berets, but tankers are bad MFers because those special forces and Navy SEALs didn't have to deal with what we dealt with, tank to tank battles, right? the Special Forces, Navy SEALs, and all that. They do missions. Yeah, they do a very tough course, very tough training, right? And they get sent in special missions. That's what they call them, special missions. But they didn't do what I did out there in Operation Desert Storm. We went through like 3 or 4 different waves of the armies, and we took them all out. And yeah, we were some bad MFers. Till it's in the history. It'll be in the history book in the books as the fastest war. I think it was the fastest war ever, possibly. The war I was at. The army was very big back then, and like I said, we only had one thought in our mind, and our thought that we had in our mind was to destroy the enemy, and we all make it back home to our families. Make it back to wherever we're stationed at, and go have a beer. You know, it's some of the things that when you're out there, and we were the ones that paved the way for everybody else, because we literally paved the way for any other wars or any other people that were behind us. The people that were in Operation Desert Storm. There was no commissaries out there. There was no nothing out there. It was we were living off of T-Rats and MREs. That's what we eat. There was sometimes it will make hot meals, but very rare. We're living off of care packages. Families and people were sending care packages for the soldiers. Of course, we appreciated it a lot. The care packages had all kinds of things: toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, and things that we need for personal hygiene. Gum, not too much candies or nothing like that. I mean, all kinds of goodies, but that was just a like a blessing, being out there. But you don't try to think too much of if you're going to live or you're going to die when you're out there in the front lines. You can't think that way. You can't think you can be lit. You can't go to war with fear. You got to keep fear out of the equation. And you could have said in your mind that you're going to make it back in one piece. That the Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ, is with you, which I prayed when I was out there before, during the war, and after the war. So I prayed before, during, and after. There's some people that did not make it back, and that's in every campaign. Or at the same time, there's people that die during training. Those people don't get mentioned. The people that die in training, the training that they're doing is the training we do is to train for war. Different defense. Some pass away from just freak accidents. Not paying attention to detail what they're doing. Next thing you know, they're gone. That's why you have to really be focused on your job. Be careful. Don't if you feel comfortable that you're an expert or you're a professional in your job duties, that's when accidents happen and people die. When they get too comfortable with a job, thinking that they're untouchable, then nothing's going to happen. That's when things happen. I've seen people lose their fingers. Uh, I've seen a guy. He's coming out of the driver's hole, and somebody forgot to say power, and they traversed the turret and caught him. They almost cut him in half. But yeah, there's a lot of accidents also during the trainings. I think another thing is sometimes people get stressed. Some of them get stressed. Me being a single soldier, some people have problems that they're already going through. People that are married, financial problems or problems where they're having marital problems. My company it was Delta Company, but we were called Divorce Company because half the people were divorced in my company. But I understand why they got divorced. Uh, the company commander normally no people let the first sergeant of the chain of command normally lets the soldiers out at around 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. With this company commander, he wanted the soldiers to be there till like around 10 o'clock, so they won't have no family time with their families, and then they had to be there early in the morning for PT, and that was an everyday thing with this guy. His name was Captain Monk. He was an a-hole. So it's like I know why you're having all these people getting divorced. I mean, golly, they don't even get these guys that are married don't even get a chance to go home to spend time with their families. So this company was Delta Company. The guy's name was Captain Monk, and he was an asshole. Normally, companies are off early. Even on Thursdays, I think they used to be off at like 3 o'clock. And not with this guy. He would keep the soldiers there in uniform till like 10 o'clock. There was no war. There was nothing going on. This is rare D, and he wanted to keep everybody there. He didn't give a shit about his troops or the morale of the troops. He was an asshole. If I were to meet him again, I got a business with this guy because of something that he told me one time. He told me that I was just a number and I'm replaceable. And he's talking to a person who just fought the battle of Medina Ridge, this shit. And I said, well, sir, thank you for letting me know how you feel about me. So I'll make sure if we do go to combat, I won't have your back because you're a nobody to me. And he said, what did you say? I told him again, I won't have your back. So you say I'm replaceable. I'm just a number. Well, I'm going to see you the same way. And then he just didn't say nothing to me no more. I mean, we could have handled business the old-fashioned way because that's the way it was back in the day. You had a problem with somebody or beef with somebody, take off your rank and handle it like men. That's the way it was. How you doing, Sister Brenda?
Hey, I'm okay. We're getting more weather, so yay. How's the rain doing? How's the rain doing out at your house?
It had been raining during the day, and I hear thunder. And as you've seen earlier, I had a power outage.
Yeah, that happened to me last night.
As a tanker, Justin, you're supposed to know all positions. Of course, when you're new, you're either a driver or a loader. And the more rank, as you climb the ranks, you become a gunner, and then a TC. That's the crew. You got a driver, the loader. There loads the main gun rounds. You got the gunner, then you got the tank commander. So there's four positions, but we're supposed to know all of them, right? The gunner. will be able to. The gunner can do the position of the gunner and the position of the tank commander. If something happens to the tank commander, the gunner will have to step up, and the loader would have to be the loader and the gunner.
They
But
put
the
four.
TC can fire also.
They
Just in
put
case there's casualties in combat, you got to learn how to do the be able to do all the jobs. That's what we do the training, and we train our soldiers because normally they're the ones that they climb the ranks, they take over those positions.
they put four of you in that tank.
Yeah, it's a four-man crew.
Oh wow, I'd get claustrophobic in that thing.
Well, it's got a heater. It's got some hoses. Well, it used to have hoses where you could put it's like something you could put on yourself and it'll keep you fresh. But yeah, it gets hot in there. But it's got a good heater system when it gets cold because
Yeah,
it's metal gets cold real fast. So you'd be sweating a lot if you're a gunner. It's like, man, get me out of here. It feels like you're in a freaking sauna, or
they
you got to stick your head out of the loader hatch or something just to get some fresh air.
pull over. I gotta pee.
Uh, Sometimes you got a Gatorade bottle. You got to
Yeah.
handle business in the Gatorade bottle,
Well, unfortunately, that's a little bit harder for a female.
especially oh yeah, for a female. Yeah, well, I think they have. I don't know if they have females in the tanks anymore or not, but I heard they had females. I'm not sure.
Maybe not for long trips.
So I knew all the jobs of a tanker, all the positions. As you're in, you learn because they're going to train you to climb to the next position. And you could switch out if you don't want to be the driver. You could be the loader and you switch out, or but the gunner is the gunner, you know, and the tank commander is tank commander. Not unless something happens to them in combat, then somebody's got to fill up the slot or fill up the job. In which they could bring somebody from somewhere else that's a gunner or a tank commander that knows the position. But even in a situation of a combat environment, something happens to them, well, somebody's going to have to step up.
Right. Well, I think that's a good idea to train everybody that's in there to do everybody's job just in case.
Well, yeah, we do all that. The driver takes care of the suspension and the engine, and the loader sometimes helps out. Because the loader's job is to take care of the breech. And keep the gun tune clean. Lube it up, keep it. Do maintenance on that. The driver does the maintenance on the hull, which is suspension. Make sure there's the oils. Make sure the track pads are tightened, and if there's something needs to be replaced, then it becomes like the tracks need to be replaced or sprockets. Then it becomes the whole tank does that as a crew.
Wasn't there talk a few years ago about making electric tanks, and then they decided that wouldn't be a very good idea because if they were taking it out in the desert and going, they have nothing to charge it with, or I think that would have been a dumb idea, anyways.
What was your preferred position? Well, really don't have a preferred position as a tanker, because when you put your heart and soul into the position, and you know it, then like any learning experience, you perfected it and you go to the next and to the next and to the next, and and the tank is 4. But then also you got details, which besides the job you do as a tanker, then you got KP. You might get stuck in KP. You might get stuck doing pulling guard, like uh, guarding, like doing a radio watch or patrol. There's details that you get stuck in that takes away from your sleep, right? So I guess I would say, the hardest part of all that is sleep, trying to get your sleep, because there's times that you train for about, I remember training, sometimes not getting no sleep for like 2, 3 days when we're in combat. But when we're trained to be, we're up for like 18, 20 hours and get like maybe 2, 3 hours of sleep, and then we go the next day. Oh yeah, sleep. You ever been so tired that you're standing up, pulling the guard or the detail you got to do as a crew, and you're so tired that your brain just shuts off on you, and you catch yourself from fall. Sometimes you fall to the ground,
Oh wow.
and your body hits the ground, and you're like, oh shit, and you get back up. That your brain is telling you, get some rest.
Yeah.
If
I've done,
anybody has ever been in a situation like that, that you're so tired, your feet hurt, your body hurts, and your brain shuts off on you, and you, as you know, you're picking yourself up from the ground where you passed out from exhaustion.
it's a little dangerous out there when you're doing that, though.
Yeah, your training can be, you have to stand up and do your duty, even though if you're tired as hell, you know. So
Right.
there's such things that you can do is called power naps. Power nap is closing your eyes for about 5, 10 minutes and then waking back up. Those
Yeah.
power naps come in handy. You can do power naps, but yeah, the training is very, very hard.
You know, I've had, I've been in, grew up in a military family and been married to the military twice, and I get so pissed off when I hear people just saying crap about the military because they have no idea what what our military goes through. You know, the things they do, and being away from family and the hours that they pull. I When my ex-husband was over there, he would him and I would sit and get on the computer and talk to each other, and he'd turn his computer on and we'd do video, and we'd sit and we'd talk, and he would be so exhausted. He would ask me about my day, and I would be sitting there telling him about my day, and I would look up and he'd be passed out asleep.
Yeah,
And
brother, Justin. I was on the M1A1 Abrams tank, but
Abrams.
I did train on the M60A3 also. I've been on the M60A3 in Germany. I played as the Op 4, which was the enemy. Yeah, those tanks, they have a good thermal system in there, and they have those banana inside the tank. I call them banana something, where the storage inside the tank, but very, very cold tanks. Pure metal. I mean, pure steel. The M60A3s. So some people that I knew that were before me, they that was their first tank. but I got to be in them in home fields where pretending to be the enemy uh, when we're going to go training out there. But the tank I was on was the M1 A1, M1 A2, A3. As you know, as the year goes by, the numbers change because they put different uh, equipment in it, so it changes the last number.
Huh.
Oh yeah, all the A1s have thermal. Then you can shoot up another mode that has no thermal. If manually, you get if you run out of power, it's got a manual. You can traverse manually and lift it manually. You got a sight that you're looking through, and it's got the numbers. If they gave you a range, you have to put it perfectly on the number of the range. If you run out of power, then you have to do it manually. I've done that before. You have to do things manually and shoot manually. You have a switch. You you twist it. When you twist it, and
Cynthia wants to know what the difference is between those two tanks.
the M1A1 Abrams is more advanced. You've seen what it did to the T-72s out there. More advanced, and we could shoot further. The rounds that the tank has are very lethal. I won't say too much on the tanks because uh, I don't want nobody getting upset. I don't want no men in black coming looking for me.
Well, I think they look more for things that fly around.
Yeah, I trained on the M1, but then it became M1A1. Yeah, it's a M1A. When I came in, that's what we trained on, the M1A1. I'm saying that I got to be on the M60 and the M68-3 when I was playing Op 4, which is the enemy in home fields. That I got to train on that tank also, but as the enemy.
I know somebody that used to put those Bradleys together.
Yeah. Then before that one, they had the Sheridan. I think it was called the Sheridan. Different kind of tank. Oh yeah, the M60 has been retired. Yeah, you see but a lot of them retired. I think there's one. Is there? I think there's like a Sheridan or something downtown Killeen, ain't it? Or is it an M60?
I don't
Right there
know.
by where the Greyhound bus was. They got a tank out there.
Oh, I don't know if that is still there.
I'm thinking it used to be a Sheridan. I'm not sure what tank it was, but they got them as museum museum pieces now.
Yeah.
Sometimes they dump things in the ocean too. So for like the ships that they sink in the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, because if they retire those and they have so many of them, I've often wondered what they do with all of them. They sell them to another country, maybe?
Yeah, uh, Kuwait has M1A1s, M1A2s over there.
Yeah.
They bought a lot of them. A lot of the tanks they bought, and they trained them. Or they trained them to they trained the crews because they didn't have Kuwaiti didn't have an army to protect their borders, but now they do. Yeah, and they have the M1A ones. They trained them. I was at the stuck at the range when I went over there, 95, and we were evaluating the crews that they were training with their equipment, or with their equipment that they bought, or the or soldiers were training them. So yeah, they're able to defend themselves now.
Well, that's good.
That's the only reason we went there the back then, because they had no army to defend themselves.
Right. I know that Mike's husband used to say that they would have a whole bunch of them out there. They were training them.
Oh yeah, but the Kuwaiti didn't have nobody to protect them. They had no army. But the closest army they had was, and I seen them, the people from Israel.
Yeah.
There were the people from Israel. There was other people that came. There were with the coalition were there. I seen the people from. I think they had. I think they were from Israel, from Egypt, one of the two. They looked like Mexicans to me. They were darker complected than I was. Different
Uh-uh.
uniforms. Just one thing about armies. Everybody look at you like they want a piece of you. And back then when I was in my prime, I was like, well, bring it on.
Yeah.
Let's find out what you're about.
So, what'd you do this weekend? Anything fun, relaxing, exciting?
No, we just went um, shopping. We're looking. We found another sofa and love seat for the other living room, and a table today for the kitchen. It won't be delivered till Wednesday.
Oh, that's nice.
Besides that, I wouldn't have been able to do anything fun with my leg. The way it's been hurting, it's still been hurting.
Mm.
I'm waiting for it to heal. I mean, the purple is gone and all that. It's just I don't know. The has gone down some, but it's kind of like the Achilles, but it's on my right leg now that it's hurting. So the other leg is strong, getting stronger, I guess, because it's been picking up the slack.
Right. Mm.
So
Did they
yeah,
did they ever look at that for you?
I never went. I was too busy on the move.
Oh,
But if it continues, I have to go check it out.
yeah. Don't fool with your legs, especially if you've had blood clot problems. Don't mess too much with your legs. Pay attention to them.
Yeah, I never. I heard the Air Force is pretty good. I want to eat in Mannheim. Was it Mannheim? I don't know. The first place when I went to Germany, I want to eat at a cafeteria there or dining facility, and it was Air Force. It was like eating in Luby's in there.
Oh,
The Air Force food is like eating in Luby's.
I
Way
was
different. Way different than than the army.
I was born in Frankfurt.
I think this it was a the air base was right there in this location when we got from the states to Germany. I ate at the cafeteria, and the food was like eating at Luby's. And when I went to our cafeteria, like, man, what the hell happened?
I
Way
think they have
different.
better food out there.
I think it's set up that way because you get all the high ranking people coming in there and stuff. I'm not sure.
Could be.
And we get stuck with T rats. I ate some T-Reds that said 1969 on it, as old as me. It's a 1969 chicken breast. Yeah, they warm it up and they boil it. Right, it's in aluminum or whatever. And the date it'll say when they made it, it said 1969 on it.
Oh my
I think
God.
those are the things that are in the underground tunnels and all that they have stored. But yeah, it's in 1969.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been eating that. I'd have been like, you got anything a little newer?
I ate it. I had no choice. But just like I ate it, it came right out of my body too.
Yeah, I think they do that on purpose. my,
I had
my,
some eggs and sausage, and I tasted it. And like, what the hell is this? You know, it had a weird taste to it, and some of the egg fell on the ground. Next thing you know, it sent me straight to the restroom. You know, I went to the outdoor latrine that they had there, and when I went back to throw the plate, the egg that fell on the ground had those little red ants. All the ants were dead.
oh my gosh. I was going to say, rat walked by, smelled it, and said, no thanks.
All the red ants were dead,
Oh
and they
man.
did not take a single piece to the what do you call it, to the nest.
Yeah.
So the T rat, you know how people sort of call the working army pesticide. You can take a piece of that T rat of the eggs and sausage and put it in the ant hole, and they'll probably kill the whole nest.
Maybe you should have brought some of that home and stored it. Could have used it on ant moles and everything. You don't need no raid. Get out of here. Here, throw a little bit of eggs on there. That'll take care of them. That's icky. My ex-husband used to bring home MREs every once in a while. He'd say, I want you to taste this. And he'd go and make it. Now, some of them weren't too bad, but I'm here to tell you, those other ones, they, the banquet TV dinners put those things to shame, man. That's pretty bad.
I was near Nuremberg, Justin. Nuremberg. I was stationed in Erlangen, Germany. Erlangen, near Nuremberg.
Nuremberg.
Then, of course, further up you have Frankfurt,
Yep. I think they closed. They ended up closing that base down that they had there.
Munich, all that. Yeah, they closed a lot of bases down.
Yeah.
The Germans didn't like us there.
Well, I was
Well,
going to try to.
some of the Germans. There's some that were pretty cool. I have German friends that were cool with me.
I was going
They'll
to
come
try
pick
to
me
get
up.
a copy of my birth certificate and my citizenship papers because my mother folded them in threes and they stayed that way for a long time. I have them in plastic right now because the seams they came apart and they're old, so I wanted to get a copy of my birth certificate, and they were like, well, you got to contact this place and this place and this place because they shut that base down, so all of the records went over here. And I'm like, what? And they were going to charge me $75 for a copy of my birth certificate plus shipping.
Wow.
I was like, well, I just have to be very careful with these.
So you were
Mm,
born in Germany.
yes, I was born in Germany. Yep. It's a, you know, my friend Glenn was laughing at me. They started talking about this citizenship stuff. And he's like, you were born in Germany, get out. I said, I said, I've been out here since I was really little. I said, and I have dual citizenship. He said, it doesn't matter, get out. I'm like, shut up. Ain't going nowhere. I would get to Germany and have to live in the airport because I don't know a soul there. That would be horrible.
So what is it that you miss about Germany, Sister Brenda?
I don't even really remember it. Like I said, I was really small. I was born there and I didn't stay there any longer than, God, I think I was what, 2 or 3 when I came out here. The only vaccine that I have ever had in my life was I had to have the smallpox vaccine to be able to travel here. And that's it. And they told my mom back then that I would never need another one that would last me a lifetime. But
Wow.
I thought about going there. When my ex-husband was in the military, he was talking about getting stationed out in Germany, and I was like, "Ooh, let's do that. I think it might be a little fun." They say when you first get there, you don't like it, but then once you're there for a little while, you don't want to come back. So apparently, it might be a good place.
Yeah, I only got to be there for about a, not even a year. I got there. I was there about, see, got there in 90. Then by December was being flown in a cargo airplane on nets, on cargo nets to the desert. Came back. They gave us leave for about shoot, 3, 4 months. Then I went back to Germany and they deactivated our unit. So I wasn't there that long.
Hmm. Justin, I was born in Frankfurt. Yeah, like I said, he was talking about going there, and I thought, oh, that would be a nice switch. Let's go there. But oh no, we stayed here in Texas. Ah,
In Germany, I'll be like, Einzelnes Weißen bitte.
did,
I just knew the numbers and what I wanted. Eins geht aus bitte. Eins, Jagersinsel bitte.
and that's all you'd order.
That's all I ordered.
All you ordered.
Eins Uso bitte. Spy, or I just needed to know the numbers, how many drinks I wanted,
Yep.
and the
Now,
food. I knew the food that I liked, and I knew how to order that. But besides that, if somebody say something to me, I don't understand what they were saying. Not unless I was really drunk. When I was really drunk, I could understand what they were saying for some reason. I don't know.
man,
I could understand what the Germans were saying. Like when you're
yes,
drinking, their language sounds different, like better. Like you could understand what they're saying. I don't know. I just started getting good at the understanding things.
yeah, my grandmother was German, and she used to talk to people in German. And I swear, any language that I learn, for some reason, everybody wants to teach me the bad words first.
Yeah,
Those must be the easiest ones, I'm guessing, or the ones most used, I should say. I
I
don't
was
know.
shooting pool at this bar with this female that was rolling her own cigarettes. She rolled her own cigarettes,
Yeah.
and her tongue was purple. Like I don't know what the hell she had a tattoo on her tongue or what.
Oh, wow.
And then she went somewhere. So I'll be right back. Like she was gonna go get something to eat. Came back with a little styrofoam thing. She opened it up. You want some? And it was a little turtle that was up. A turtle that was like it's boiled or something, and she stuck her fingers in it,
Oh,
pull out the meat, and start eating it. And I'm like, what the? And it had a nasty smell to it. And I was like, she's like, do you want some? I said, no, I'm good. I'm good.
yeah. I'm not hungry.
I like the pamphlets, which was French fries. They were like in a little cone thing, shaped thing.
Yeah.
French fries with mayo and ketchup and cheese on it. That was pretty good.
I tell you, I was around some story because my grandmother was German, but my grandfather was Portuguese, and they would talk to each other in both languages, and I was like, okay, I don't know who you people are, but yeah, and so I grew up around a lot of different dishes, you know. Sometimes I would ask my grandmother what she's making, and she would say some weird thing, and I'd be like, okay, what's in it? She says, I'll tell you when you're older. Oh, that's not a good sign, I learned at an early age.
What is the name of the potato that's hard like a ball?
Oh,
It's like mashed potatoes, but it's hard like a ball. Just can remember the name of it.
oh, I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember what the name of it is.
My German friends invited me for Thanksgiving or over to their home, and man, I had a feast there. I was real skinny. I was like 165 pounds
Ah,
or 155 pounds, and they invited me, and they had a what do you call it, geese
yeah.
instead of a turkey, a geese, and they gave me a big old plate. The plate looked like a platter. What the hell? How can I eat
Germans
all
eat
this?
now.
Full of
They
food.
yes, big plates of food.
The plates over there, you get your money's worth.
My grandmother was like that. You never went hungry. I don't care, and you better eat what you get to. Hi, Andres.
Hello, I finally decided to come up from the freaking luck chat. What's up?
How you doing, Andres? Sorry for the power outage earlier.
Oh, don't apologize for stuff like that, man. That just happens in
No,
life. There's nothing we can do.
it's like if it's not one thing or another. And I said, I think the last thing I said was caca squatch, and then
Yeah, and then I think everybody was waiting on you. But I just
yeah,
said, like, nope, you got cut off.
Yeah, I
it's
jumped on and all I seen was this black screen with white stuff stripped across it, and I was like,
I
"What
actually
is
kind of
going
like
on
that
here?"
background.
Yeah,
you like that background?
I kind of liked it. I was just
It
thinking of the whole with,
was
yeah, that.
yeah, that. I kind of liked it because it's like, it's the whole, like, everything in the dark, and you just see this whip of smoke. And I'm
Yeah,
just thinking, like, that's how most of these things show up as in the beginning to most people. It's just smoke of some kind.
yeah.
there's another one that moves over here somewhere. I'm not sure. Is it this one that moves?
Like, yeah, yeah, that moves. Oh, that's kind of neat. It
Well,
is. It's smoke moving around all over the place.
the
I
spiritual
don't see
name.
the smoke moving around, but I prefer like where it's just a still image when Abe got cut off. I still like that one better, in my opinion.
There's different ones. Look at that one.
Oh,
Oh, that's not bad. It looks like the night sky.
Look, we're in NASA now.
yeah. We are going to the moon.
We're
Y'all
going
hang
to
on.
Oh yes, the
the
moon.
Avatar planet.
Yes. Hey, quick question: do you guys think we're high now since we're on the moon or no?
It's all
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, that God, they made it look better when they did it way back in the day, and we know they did it in a basement.
Oh shoot, what was that?
What was what?
No, not this one. There was something that would had like all kinds of little digits in it.
Oh,
Did y'all see that?
You mean like the one with the like all the like and that was on the left side or what?
No, there was like a glitch or something. Oh, maybe it's this one.
it might have been a picture of the cockasquatch. There it is. Cockasquatch in motion.
I think we're getting yeah. It's a caca squatch is trying to teleport through my screen. I need help. I need help. Caca
Ah,
squatch coming
screw
through.
that. Kaka Squatch, you gotta go. Nobody wants you here.
It's changing. They're coming. They're many. They're coming. They're coming through the portal. A lot of caca squatches trying to come through.
Cockasquatches.
Must have been the taqueria. The taqueria where I ate the tacos.
Oh man, I got to go to Taqueria this week at some point. I haven't been there for a while. I need a steak chimichanga. Yeah, that's what I need. Uh,
So where else we can travel here? There you go. That's the one
yeah,
you like.
we have traveled more in the last 5 minutes than we've ever traveled to the moon.
Yes, we did. So speaking of which, I just want to run something by you guys. What do you guys think of all these space launches that they use with like all the freaking false gods like Apollo and Artemis? Why do you think they keep using those names? Like, is it just a code phrase or something? Or are they trying to give these beings power?
Yeah, I mean, did you notice that there was symbols all over that thing? The guy that went in and hooked him up, he had a big old tattoo of Baphomet on his hand. I
Yeah,
mean,
Uh, I think it's all for show.
you
I
know,
think the series Star Trek will show better things than that.
yeah, right?
yeah, it would. I actually saw somebody else point out something is that whenever we try to do one of these space exploration things, there's usually some kind of war happening around the world. It's never specified which one, but right now with everything that's happened with Iraq and
It's
Israel, it's,
all that is bullshit.
it's yeah, it
The
is. Yeah,
the
it's
the
a
the,
lie.
Yeah.
the aircrafts and all that.
It's trying to distractions from what? No idea, but it's definitely a lot worse than what people think.
Everything. From
I don't even
everything.
watch none of that stuff, man. You could
And,
tell it was fake when you seen the flag moving.
well, here's the thing. They have spent so much time lying about everything. Our history is nothing but a lie. And they've spent so much time doing it. And way back in the day, before the internet, people had to take them for their word. Okay? They didn't, they were telling them that's what it was. Now, we can do too much investigating ourselves with the internet to find out that they're full of crap.
There
Ooh,
you
that's
go.
pretty.
We're going out of the firmament.
We're
There we
going
go.
to heaven. We're going to heaven.
We're traveling. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there.
Look at
Uh
that.
oh.
Right.
We,
Right.
we, we're going. We're going
Yeah.
through.
True.
We're going through.
Quick question before we
We
go
made
through:
it.
snacks?
What?
Are we gonna have snacks for this trip or no? Cause
Well,
I
we'll end up finding some. Nutella will fly across the screen for us.
right.
Okay, we just landed. We just landed on the other planet. That's the new Earth.
It's Mars.
We're in
There you
food
go.
now.
Oh,
It might be that place in
oops.
Canada that they filmed took the picture of the first landing with. So yeah, that might be where we are.
There we are. There we are. You
Yeah.
can't see it. It's not allowing us to say it. What the hell? We having technical difficulties. What's going on here?
We're gonna leave this cameraman on Mars when we go, right?
Yeah.
Something's happening. What's going on? Oh, it's got a sky. It's got a sky just like Earth.
Oh man, I'll tell you.
Oh, it's what's going
Oh,
on? Is I
I
think we
think
got to get a
it's the
dinner for
Marsh.
flying
It's the
objects.
Martian Disco Club.
Oh, I don't know about that. Disco's been out of like, it's been out for ages.
Yeah, but this is another planet. They don't know nothing of disco. They
Oh,
just found it.
it's got portals. It's got portals. You see them right there?
Yeah,
Those black portals. There we go.
Watch
everybody,
out.
Abe would look awesome with an afro.
And it, right. On Mars, they're still living in the 70s.
And everybody's getting high. There's no judgment. You can go to
We
four.
made it. Just we're into space. We're floating
Oh,
right now. Oh,
oh, oh, oh. There goes your bottle of water, Abe. You better catch it. It's going to float away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. That
man,
looked
it's
more
gonna
real
be.
than the Nutella. When that jar of Nutella went floating by there, I was like, what on earth? Are you
You know,
joking?
yeah, it did. And you want to know one of the funniest things about that is it spun around just fast enough to get the logo. Like people
Yeah,
don't even
That
know
was
what.
AI.
Yeah,
yeah.
I kept seeing people saying people were using like CG, a fake CGI or freaking green screen.
I think Nutella sponsored it.
Yep, but didn't.
Here we
It's
are.
terrible.
We're doing the same thing they're doing. Look at we're in space right now, guys.
Mm-hmm.
See where else we want to travel. What's this?
Oh, that's interesting.
Pretty sure I had too many gummies. I, don't,
Yeah,
I need something to wash it down. Anybody got any whiskey?
you're right. They'll send us some. They'll be here in an hour. Did you guys know that in space, when you're on these rockets, you can get DoorDash?
What kind of living room set is this?
Oh, that's just some horror movie stuff. I,
Hey, at least that furniture is not like the old wooden ones with the wooden armrest and the same pattern that they used to have in everybody's house.
oh.
Superman.
Oh, you're
It's got no.
missing your cape.
What, Andres?
I said all Abe is missing is his cape.
Oh, we're having technical difficulties.
It's raining.
It's raining. It's raining.
It's raining in space.
Well, let's make it better since it's raining. Mister, it rains in the jungle. There we go.
Abe, here, all we need to do is just float around and just suck up all the rain.
Yeah. Somebody was sitting there, they were saying, I think that the Artemis is going to bring back some alien life.
Oh
I'm
shit,
like,
we got a
oh,
rainbow
good God, what
expedition.
is that?
We got a rainbow expedition here.
I looked up and seen all these wiggly lines. Well, those are more pastel colors. Oh, zebra.
I want the nice thing, so I'm high from being so high up in space. I'll probably try to eat the rainbow. I wonder how.
Andreas be down there with a bucket going, it's Skittles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to taste the rainbow.
I think I'll do the one with the stars. There you go.
Oh, look, we
Look
twinkle.
at oh look at that.
Are we special?
The viewers are like, "What the hell's the matter with these people?"
OZ Patriot said, I needed a trip to space. Thanks, Abe.
There's some more stuff here I haven't even seen. Let's see what this is.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
for
watching.
watching.
What's this?
Oh, that was Party Favors.
Yay! What the?
I think Abe found a new toy.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. We're sitting still in space. Well, our space trip looks like more fun than theirs did.
But yeah, definitely fun. We good to go everywhere. They're stuck in that tiny metal can.
Breaking news.
We had a picture of the toilet that cost $3 million, and the thing looked like it was put together with a cardboard box and tape. And I said, you have got to be kidding me, right? They honestly think this thing went to space. Good God Almighty. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
They always abuse the freaking money. Do you guys remember that freaking starship, whatever crap, where we sent those singers into a freaking space? One of
Yeah.
one of them was freaking Katy Perry. I can remember she was one of them. I forgot the other two. Why waste all that money to send three of them who absolutely have no real value aside from their whatever music they do?
And then they were supposed to open that door because supposedly it didn't open. And one of them opened it, and the guy ran over there and shut it again so they could pretend like they were breaking into it. Get out of here.
That's just messed up.
They
Bloody point.
just think, you know what aggravates me out of all of it? They think that we are all that stupid.
You know, they really want everybody to just shut up and listen, but they forget even back then they were conspiracists. The only difference was they had to keep their mouth shut, otherwise it'd be ostracized by society. Nowadays, everyone's crazy. You got
Oh,
the
yeah.
over here and you got the writers over there. They want to go a certain way. These people want to go in a certain way, and then there's just muted people here. We'll just focus on some other stuff, but at the same time, we're not freaking fooled because
Yeah.
we real.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to take these things off.
Oh, hey, what
There
happened? All
we go.
stuff.
Got it.
He was having a good time. We're home,
Yeah.
everybody. We're home.
Yes, we're home. I'm sorry I couldn't bring you guys any freaking what's the name? I forgot what it's called. Any rocks? I couldn't bring you any rocks. I don't
Oh,
have any pockets on me.
yeah. Yeah. And we left the camera and the camera guy up there. We'll go get him in another 50 years.
Yep. I gotta wait 50 years. By then, the poor guy will probably be 80, and we're like, "This is my home now. I need my toilet from rocks.
Yeah.
I need to dig a hole, but it's there."
What have you been doing up here for 50 years? Pooping on the moon. Oh,
I made a
God.
station out of rocks. Here's my rock girlfriend. Here's my rock mother and father. Here are our children.
Hey, you never know, Andres. He could build one like that coral castle on the moon.
Oh yeah. You might. I have no idea.
Oh, man.
I am pretty sure he at least got to practice his singing voice. There's nobody around to freaking hear him.
Yeah.
This weather's crazy, ain't it? It's been getting
Yes.
cold.
And I can hear more thunder now. So, and there's more rain out there. I can hear it. Last night, the wind was blowing so bad that it was blowing the water up against my door. It was leaking underneath there. It was blowing it on that whole entire side. My kitchen got all wet. I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. 3 o'clock in the morning, we were up sopping up water.
Wow.
Yeah. and I can hear it again, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Get ready. And I live high. Like you have to go uphill to get to where I'm at. So for the water to be that high up here and be running in, I know that that park down the hill over there was just swamped.
So what do you think about, since you're talking about those people? You could tell that they're freaking trying to play the people, man, just by the way they act.
I
And it's all
saw,
BS.
well, yeah, but you know what? Somebody brought something to the table with that with pictures. The girl that went with them, she looks an awful lot like the one that was on the last one that blew up.
Oh yeah. I think it.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Oh God.
Okay,
She's
I remember what you're talking about. One of the spacecraft that was supposed to go up there ended up exploding
yeah.
near starting point. Some kind of malfunction. I forgot when it was. I think it might have been like what, like 2 years ago.
No, no, no. But I'm talking about the one with the seven of them, seven that went up there. The school teacher and
Hmm.
Oh, oh,
yeah, yeah. All those people have jobs everywhere else. Half of them didn't even change their names. It was amazing how many of them had exactly twins. You know, they were identical twins. Huh? Right.
well, that's definitely weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's more like actors.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What is it that Trump says? Central casting.
Alan wants to know if you're talking about the Challenger shuttle. Is that the one you're talking about?
I think so. Yes. Yep. I said that about this one. It was so funny because I told Glenn we were doing the show and he was talking about him. I said, yeah. I said, watch. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're all going to be college teachers here in a year or two. That's what they did. That's what half of them did. One was a scientist, the other one was some kind of college teacher for something else. And yeah, it was a little ridiculous. I don't know. They just one of these days, I can only hope that somebody just goes beyond everybody else and just tells everyone the dead honest truth about everything. They may not have been able to handle that in the 50s, but in 2026, just tell us. You know, we can handle it. We're all grown adults with our own freaking minds. And they say, well, it won't be good for the people who don't understand, you know, that right now they're living their world like nothing's going on. Well, they'll have a shock of their life and they'll figure it out. That's all you can do. You can try to tell people things, but they just like, nah, come on. No. Then later they call you and say, hey, my daughter, we had this talk about chemtrails a couple years ago. She told me I was crazy. She calls me the other day and sends me a picture and goes, Mom, look at this. And I said, yeah. She says, what is it? I said, oh, it's a big X in the sky.
See,
She said,
that's what always get me about these people who say they're not doing anything. Like you see these
yeah,
X's and you can see like almost as if they're like waves in the clouds.
yep,
Normal cloud formations look nothing like that unless they're somehow
nope,
man-made,
that's right.
which freaking sucks. Because I ended up seeing something like that, but it was like it was actually during one of the experiences I told Abe, and I told him like I think it was last year or when I first found it back in 24. I Okay, I was walking at the door. This was probably like late summer, early fall, somewhere around there. Right as after I seen like a split second of a black, big cat, I looked up at the sky for some odd reason, and I could see like waves of some kind. And when the moment I looked at the sky, I just felt something was wrong with the sky. in a sense. To me, it felt like that, where it's just everything was just came around me. And the reason I was outside, I was heading to the garage with my mother so we can get something from it. She told me like I noticed I was falling behind, so I went into the garage, took my focus off of it, and as we were coming out, I looked back up, and the feeling that something was wrong just went away. Like that's when I knew there's obviously more than that, and everything's being affected. It's not just the earth, the ground beneath our feet, or the
Yeah.
air around us. It's everything, and they're
Yep.
constantly trying to control it.
Your brother Josh, brother
Yeah.
Wolf.
Oh, hey
Hey,
Wolf, what's up?
Josh.
On one more thing, Beyond, the teacher they had on was just an ordinary high school teacher from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
It was in college.
Oh, no, she's college now.
Oh, she's
She's a
college
college
now.
teacher now. Yes.
Oh, she left. I thought she died.
Nope.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you for correcting me.
And she looks just like the one that went with them this time. These people are crazy. You know what? Maybe I'm in the wrong line of work. Maybe that's what I should have done. I should have just went to the government and said, "Hey, I want a job. You can put me in a shuttle one year. You can put me over here this year. I'll even go do riots for you. I bet they pay well,
I wouldn't be
bastards."
surprised if they did, because you see. So I actually saw an interview. I think it was like a few months ago of the same guy appearing in different states for different riots, and he was being
Yeah,
he straight up said the interviewer straight up said, "Are you being paid for this?" And the guy said, "Yes."
yeah, crisis actors. That's what they are.
I wonder
Do
what the
you
contract says.
do you
Like,
remember a couple of years ago when they were talking about all of the people that were trying to come across the border and they had Maria and her children? And they were saying that they were throwing those tear gas bombs at the kids, and they were her kids they were throwing them at. But yet, you've seen pictures of all of them standing around with them holding one of those. You can buy those empty canisters in surplus stores. Okay, and then they had some kind of national disaster somewhere, and there's Maria and her kids. They're crisis actors. They hire
Yeah.
people for that. Yeah, kind of like when you have your movie sets and they're doing movies and they have all these back people behind them. Those are all actors that they
It's
hire
like
for that.
the kid that came out in all those high school shootings
Yeah,
back a couple of years ago. The same guy, like in every school.
yeah.
Like what the hell?
They change their hair color or they give them a haircut. They keep them back for a couple of years, and then when you bring them out, they're a little bit older, and they think that people aren't going to notice this. We have the internet now. The internet, if you buy the right system, can do facial hookups and recognition and all that stuff. I mean, they can.
So you'll be able to if you put a caca squatch on there, you'll be able to tell it's a caca squatch.
yep, that's right.
Kaka Squatch
He's
is
gonna say it's a
busted.
person in costume.
We know who he is. He's busted. But
You're gonna
it's
find some
ridiculous.
rednecks and cocker squatchers too.
There you go. Yeah, they help him hunt deer.
I think I'm gonna hashtag caca squatch. Put a
Hashtag Kaka
hashtag.
Squatch.
Oh, Abe, you know
See if
it's
it
gonna
trends.
get you attacked, cause these rednecks and non-believers and atheists are all gonna say this man is disrespecting the Sasquatch. This man is wrong.
Josh,
This,
you want to come up with us and have some conversations?
So
yeah,
they worship the caca squatch and they have caca squatch meetings and they have
Kaka
uh,
Squatch meetings.
caca squatch powwows.
oh, we need to post this on critical thinking of Bigfoot. Let's see what the admins do. Oh, wait, they don't do shit but attack. Drop a link, Abe, in case he wants to come on.
I don't know. It was
I said just in case, or if anybody wants to come on, like Alan.
Where's all them caca squatch believers at?
Oh, please. They're going to do the same thing Squatch does. He's going to lurk in the shadows but not do shit.
They'll be like, caca squatch is right behind me.
Yep.
And you just tell them, well, wipe it.
Oh, I
Get the,
can't show
the
Pakaka.
Charmin paper, Charmin toilet paper, and wipe it. Wipe the caca squatch off of you.
Mm-hmm. Or they'll say, no, I can't show Squatch. I have to protect him. Oh, shit. These things don't need that much protection as much as you think. These things are
Yeah,
more than capable of defending themselves.
I've had
maybe.
people tell me that they're helping the government protect them.
The government will sooner find these things and try to freaking weaponize them.
Well, I want that job, and I want a razor, and I'll go around to all the caca squatches and shave their butts so that caca doesn't stick to their squatches. There you go.
Oh, Brandon, you should take a look at the shit and see if it smells like freaking alcohol. Because that's what they've been drinking.
Moonshine. Get it
Yeah,
right.
they do.
Moonshine.
The dude, I'm a caca squash terminator. Just call me the caca squash terminator. Kill the caca squash.
You know what amazes me about these people? They want to freaking prove these things exist so much, but they're not willing to do to actually get them. It's assuming they even manage to get one, you will probably have to kill it. You can try to get it alive if you can, but you won't be able to. These things are gonna fight.
They
They need
don't
to.
travel by themselves. Is a thing. You know, they
That's
do
another
exist,
thing.
right? They're in numbers.
Yeah, sometimes they travel
And
in groups. You might find the
yeah,
occasional lone male, but that lone male probably got kicked out for good reason. And then
And
one
you
of the
know what?
reasons,
caca squash.
uh,
And you know, I'm such an animal lover. I would find him and bring him in my house and give him a bath and feed him.
see, that's another one of the things they'll do. Like I'm thinking, okay, when you said that, I think of some of these people who keep like freaking bears, and think the bears are all gonna be nice, just because you raised them and you took care of them.
They're animals.
I'm sorry, they
And you
are.
know what though? It's not necessarily always wild animals either. I mean, you got dogs that'll turn on their owners. Animals are animals.
Snakes,
Their
boas.
defense is to bite. Their defense is to attack. That's their defense. So if you, let's say you have a bear and you get it as a cub and you raise it and it's the furriest thing you ever had, it loves you and all that. If you do something that you don't think it's going to harm it, but it startles it, it's going to attack. That's a natural instinct of an animal. I know plenty of people that have certain different wild animals. Like I said, when I was in Arizona, I used to live next to that lady that had those panthers, I guess they were, and she bred them and sold them. And they were the nicest things ever, but they would come up to the fence, they would let you pet them, they would stand there and let you pet them. But she used to say, don't move fast and be a little cautious. Well, because they are wild animals, and if you startle them, they're going to attack you, you know? And then these people, I like when they get these things and they say, well, I'm going to raise this to protect my family. So, what are you going to do? You're going to be what it thinks you might be being mean to it. And what's it going to do? It's going to lash out because it's an animal.
That's actually
So,
even worse if you had these things trained specifically for protection. Because
yeah,
Nevaeh actually said, I think on another live, I think it was, I forgot what breed, but they had the dog trained, and one of the kids, one of the younger ones, I think around like toddler age, ended up smacking the top of the head of the dog, and the dog didn't attack or anything, but it definitely looked at the kid a bit different with a side eye,
yeah,
and
that was me.
oh, that was you. Oh,
Yes,
I thought that was him.
I had adopted a Doberman that had gone through police training. Yeah, and my daughter and I were playing, and he was asleep on the couch next to me. And when she ran up, she accidentally hit him, and he jumped up. He did jump up to chase after her, but I grabbed him, and I had his mouth wrapped around my forearm, and I carried him out the door like that. And just any time my daughter was around, he did not look at her the same way anymore. So I had to find him another home.
But sorry, that was my fault for the mix-up.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The moment an animal doesn't consider you as something as an ally and considers you a bit of a threat,
Mm-hmm.
that's when things for something can happen real fast, and you usually need to look away for a second, and that's when things go horribly wrong.
Yep. Yeah. And it happens. And a lot of people that, they get some of these animals and they raise them because, well, and I understand why, you know, oh, I found this poor baby monkey. He's been abandoned. He has no mom. And a lot of times it'll be the women that will do that because we have mothering nature no matter what it is. We want to mother it, especially a baby. But you always take that chance and you always have to keep in the back of your mind this is a wild animal and they have certain things that set them off. And once they grow up and get old enough to start defending themselves, well, you can put them in a sanctuary, but they need to be kept there, not just walking up and down the damn street with them like they're your best friend, because they can turn. There was a old couple. They weren't real old when they got the chimp, and they raised him, and they would put clothes on him. He would go
Oh,
everywhere with them.
I remember. I think I know what you're talking about. I think the champ, for some reason or another, just went
He,
berserk and attacked the woman.
yeah, he attacked her husband, and he actually killed him. He bit his face off or something like that, and then she was on the phone calling, 911 because this thing was outside trying to break into the house. He just flipped shit. I mean, it happens. These things are not. They're not your children. You know, if you want a wild animal, my God, go get a freaking possum. Possum, a little skunk, have it fixed, get it when it's small. They run around, they're better in the house than cats. Don't you get in these things that grow as big as you or weigh 10 tons. That'd be
Okay.
like going and getting an elephant and saying, I'm going to put him in my backyard. Yeah, who's going to clean up that shit? Not me. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's with these animals. It is like okay, like you said, when most of these people they always think it's possibly like a nature versus the instinct or whatever.
Yeah,
Instinct will always win in this case. It will
yeah,
not. Nurture will never will. No matter how much you think the animal actually cares for you, won't. Instinct will win.
yeah.
And that's more or less the same thing with these freaking Sasquatch. They'll think they're all nice, pretty, and sure, there may be cases of these things maybe helping people, or even that. That's but helping people is a bit of a stretch. It's more like malevolent. They just think you're just an exterritorial, but they know you're not a threat. But they do want you out of here, so they will show you the way out. But they're not going to necessarily risk their lives to defend you unless
Hey,
there's possibly something in it.
we do that in Texas. We take people in from other states, but then when we get sick of them, we want to show them the way out. get out, get out. We're full. Go home.
Yep, that's what it sounds like. Oh, hey, Rand, what's up?
Huh? What happened?
I said, hi, Rain, what's up?
Oh,
Because she just woke up.
Yeah,
And
she
we're
said,
fixing to hit the 2 hour marker.
oh my goodness! Already?
yeah.
Wow!
202.
Look at that. Well, you did go over because you were on for a few minutes the first time.
Yeah.
And then the power outage freaking came, hit you or hit your area.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, but you already passed through and it feels fresh in here right now because of outside. Pretty, because of the rain.
I gotta look at my. I don't even know where my phone is. I was gonna. Oh, there it is. I was gonna check the radar because there was something moving around. Hopefully, it's already gone past. It's raining out there still. Let's see.
You know the weather in Central Texas? You always say something that's the opposite.
This is so true.
You
We
know what?
have
I'm
bi-
sorry. Keep going, Brenda.
we have bipolar Mother Nature.
Have you
Oh
guys?
yeah,
The weather's been getting more like that. It's more been bipolar in the last couple of years than it has in the past. What? I think back in early '90s, the weather was more stable, and back then, in my opinion, I wasn't around back then, but I think it was more stable. And it was until like the early 2000s that's when stuff really started changing.
yeah.
Weather machine.
We're getting in the clear now, Ed. That stuff's headed way out there now. I think it's in Waco. Oh yeah, it's passing over Waco and all that. It's out of Austin area, and I've got a little bit of rain. You should have just a little bit of light rain, but then it should be going away. Yay! I don't have to sit up at 3 o'clock in the morning and sop up water today. That is so aggravating. Because then I have to move. I have to move everything off that whole entire wall so we can clean all the water up.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
and
how
I've
long?
got heavy cabinet things there.
How heavy we talking?
I have a 8 foot uh, curio cabinet from Italy, and then I have another one that has got just a top and a bottom. It's like a big wooden microwave stand, but it's got glass cabinets in it, so we keep glasses and stuff up in there. So yeah, pretty heavy.
Oh, you keep expensive stuff in there. That sucks for you,
Well,
especially.
yeah, what that really pisses me off because my cabinet that I have that my daughter and son-in-law got me and brought here from Italy.
This real
So
wood.
Yeah,
yes,
it's none of that fake stuff like they do here in the U.S.
and the landlord says,
Germany had real wood too.
yeah,
Expensive.
my landlord says, well, you should have insurance. Well, we do, but that doesn't matter. Well, I can't replace that curio cabinet. I cannot replace it. I mean, or hutch. Actually, it's a hutch. I
Uh,
can't replace that. My ass ain't going to Italy.
Oh, if you ever do, good luck. Because what I can tell, they don't really serve like drinks with ice in there. Or most of the drinks are there unless you bring your own freaking ice. And don't get me started on them not having air conditioner in every single place. You just gotta suck it up with the heat.
Oh God,
At least,
no.
at least from stuff that's from what I've seen on apps and shorts and all that.
See, now I'd rather just like go plant my butt in Greenland and just have to dress warm because I can handle the cold a lot better than I can the heat. So I don't know. It's ridiculous. So, but all right, Abe. Well, I am going to jump down off of here
Sister
because
Brenda. Yeah.
it has been 2 hours, and
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you've got some more stuff to tinker with in your house.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna call it a night too. Uh, get some shut eye and see what happens tomorrow. Uh,
It's
yeah,
two,
it's like the power outage messed up my character.
right?
So it's- I was
Yes.
going with a roll and then you
Yeah, I know. I hate that.
know
Well, at least,
I was on a roll. And then it's just you just messed up the momentum, and it's like I had to do it again, but it's like it turned out to be a whole different show
yeah.
because
Yeah, that really sucks, especially when you're on the road and it's just like, nope, sorry.
Hey, at least it didn't stay out all night. At least it came back
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
Sister Brenda, well,
happens.
thank you for jumping on.
Well, thank you, and
Thank you.
good night, and we will see you later. Good night, Andreas.
All right, good night, Brenda. Take care. May Heavenly Father watch over you and bless you.
Thank you. You guys have a blessed night. Everybody in the chat, make sure y'all hit that like button. And I will see everybody later. Have a good night.
Good night.
You know. All right, Abe. Well, I'm gonna log off too. Seeing as how you're gonna close it for the night. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it.
All right. Well, again, thank you for letting me on the panel with you. Thank you for your service. And
No
I'm done.
problem. Thank you for jumping on here with me.
Oh, that's my honor. That's Oh, you get it. All right. Take care,
Good
man.
night, brother.
I'll be in the chat until you log off. Take care.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. Thank you, Andres and Sister Brenda, for being on with me a little bit here tonight. Yeah, I was going to go with the Sgt Sias Sunday, and the power outage messed up the momentum. But that's okay. Everything happens for a reason. That's how I see it as. Maybe the Heavenly Father is trying to tell me something else. No, maintain your love foundation. But I did talk about certain things, in general, how you're supposed to be. Sometimes you have to be a certain way accordingly to your job or your duties or what you're supposed to do. Either I was in the military, well, hardcore, I had to be hardcore, man. You have to push your body to the limits, especially when it comes down to a situation, a matter of life or death. You you have to train, you have to put in the work, you have the mentality. But at the same time, you gotta have that inner peace within yourself, somewhere within you, to balance everything out. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, I don't want to stay up too late. I just want to say thank you for everybody that tuned in here tonight for Sound Off Sunday with Sgt Sias. Maybe we'll have another one next week. Hopefully, I won't have a power outage. There's been a lot of strange things happening, but that's okay. I believe everything happens for a reason. But I will get me some rest. Thank you for everybody that tuned in here tonight. Good night, everybody. God bless y'all. Love, light, and blessings to you and your families. Uh, in saying that, this is Sgt Sias signing off from Sound Off Sunday. Good night and good morning, everybody.